Welcome to the Decreasing Stock with Attaché Accounts Summer School webinar. My name is Ritishka Dawson and I am a support consultant here in the Attaché Auckland office. Today we will be covering different tips and tricks that can be implemented in the Attaché system to help you reduce your stock days. So let's go through our agenda for today. We will have an introduction and then we will cover ways to process more efficiently with regards to stock control, learn ways to manage our stock better, and then how we can work towards reducing our stock days. Before we get started, just some things to note. If you are having any technical issues, just use the chat box and I'll try and help you. If you have any questions about any of the content covered today, and especially any questions during the session, just type them into the question box and I'll answer them at the end of the session. Okay, so let's quickly cover why stock days are important and what they are. So this is the calculation for stock days. It's stock on hand times 365 divided by your cost of sales, and that gives you your stock days. So each industry will have a different standard for a target stock day. So based on your industry, that is the figure that you should be working towards. So this calculation is done automatically and can be found in your Attaché system. By managing your stock more efficiently and basing all your buying and selling stock decisions on data, it can help to lead to unlocking trapped working capital. So on the next page, I will show you what I mean. So this is a stock ready reckoner, which is taken from the Attaché Business Improvement Guide. What this illustrates is if you have a cost of sales for your last year, if that was $2 million, and then your stock on hand at the end of last month was $660,000 worth, that would mean your stock days are 120. Now, just by reducing your stock days to 100, so taking 20 days off and turning over your stock faster, it will make the value of your stock on hand 550,000. So that essentially has released $110,000 into your working capital just by reducing your stock days. So let's cover ways we can process more efficiently with our stock in Attaché. Because all this information and decisions are going to be based on data, you need to make sure your data is as accurate as possible. So one way of making sure your data is accurate is by using barcodes. So barcodes are stored as numbers and can help increase your efficiency of data entry, and it can also eliminate any typing errors. If we have a look at a particular product, for example AMP, which is my amplifier, I have a master barcode set up for this particular product. If I have more than one barcode against a product, I can save them under products, supplementary barcodes. So if your products have more than one barcode, you can set them up under here. So once you've set up your barcodes, you can use your scanner when you're entering in customer orders or invoices, as well as when you're receipting in your goods, for example, or entering purchase orders. So for example, if I enter a customer transaction, all I can do is once I'm in the product code, I can scan my product. That will put in the barcode into the product code field. That will mean the system will automatically pick up what the actual product code is. So if you have product codes for multiple products, and if they're numeric or alphanumeric as well. It's easier to use a barcode scanner, so you just scan the product barcode and the system will automatically look for that number and find out which product you're actually ordering. So the next one is using your customers' and suppliers' product codes. So this means you can specify a more customer-friendly product code or use your supplier's actual product code that you buy off them. So this helps to communicate better with your customer and your suppliers, as it would make them see exactly what they've ordered or what we've ordered. This in turn reduces any incorrect orders being entered. So under your master file, to save customer product codes, under maintain, I can type in my customer and my product, and you can specify what a more friendly customer product code is. For example, I've put an amplifier because it's easier to type in the system AMP rather than the whole amplifier, but when I print out invoices I want it to be displayed as amplifier. You need to just make sure under your setups, customers invoicing options, that you have selected use customer product codes. Then you can go to your forms designer and customize the form to take out the product code and instead place the customer product code on that form. So if I show you a customer invoice, as you can see under the item code, it then displays the full word of amplifier. So that can as well help the customer check in their system if they are a wholesale customer, as well as with your suppliers. They can check that this product code matches what they have in their own system. So the next one is purchasing conversions. Now this can be used when your buying quantity and selling quantities are different. For example, if I go to my product MP3, as you can see I've set up a purchase unit here as boxes. So I buy MP3s in a box of 10, for example, from my supplier, but to my customers I sell it as a single unit, so I don't sell my customers a box. So what I can do is, if I page down, I have a purchase conversion that's been set up of 10. So as soon as I enter in a supplier transaction, for example, as soon as I enter it for MP3, the system will automatically pick up that it's a box. So I don't need to remember how many units come in a box. Once I've set it up, I can actually say we're ordering 2 boxes, and once I receipt in this purchase order, the system will automatically place 20 units of MP3 players into the system that are available to be sold. So that's a really good way of keeping your stock levels accurate, and once you've set everything up, the system does all the hard work for you. So the next one is product pricing. Now in your product pricing, with product pricing in Attaché, you have 6 selling prices that are available for each product, and you also have 3 discounts that are available for each product. Now the selling prices and the discounts, their labels can be changed under the setups, product options. So here you can specify out of those 6 selling prices how many you will actually be using. And then you can go down and you can put in headings for these selling prices. As you know, customer selling special pricing is very robust in Attaché. You can use quantity breaks to allow for discounts, as well as discounts based on a date range. So if we have a look at our special pricing that has been set up for MP3, as you can see here, I've got some criteria that has been set up essentially, which is based on quantities ordered. So if a customer buys anything from 1 to 10 quantity, they won't get any discount. The system will just look at what their price is based on the price that has been set up on their customer master file to point to which selling price. If they buy anywhere higher than 10 but less than 100, they will get a 5% discount. And if they buy more than 100, they get a 15% discount. What you can also do with special pricing is you can set up a date range. So I can say this special pricing is only applied during the Christmas period, and I can put in those dates under the special price. So only transactions that are entered between that date range will then look at the special price and have that applied to that order. So that this means, due to Attaché's flexibility with pricing, when users enter transactions, they don't need to look at price books or customer price lists. The system will pick up the correct price automatically, which reduces errors and incorrect orders entered. So the last thing we'll cover for product pricing is ways you can increase or decrease your prices in bulk. So the best way to do that is by using the global price update. So it allows you to update any of your product prices, and you can choose to increase or decrease by an amount or even a percentage. So for example, after your end of financial year, you might have done a lot of research in your data and found that you've got a lot of stock in a particular product group and you want to clear out that stock and make way for newer stock items. What you can do is you can decrease their prices by 10%, which will help to encourage the sales of those products because the cost of holding those stock is very high in your warehouse. So now what you can do is you could go through individually for each of those products and adjust their prices, or you can use the product price update. So under master file products price update, I can come in and choose which price I'm changing. I can choose the retail, the corporate, or the wholesale, and I've got all my other selling prices which I don't use. So what I can say is I want to decrease just my retail prices by a set percent, which is 10. And you can also choose what it will be based on. So you can reduce the current cost or the latest cost or the actual selling price. You can also just apply it to a range of products. So I'm moving out I'm going to reduce the price of all my whiteware products. And then the system will automatically update those products and reduce their prices for me. So that just saved me time from going through and updating those prices manually, and it also ensures that all the products are picked up that you've specified in the range, so in case you manually are doing it and you miss out some products, the system will help ensure that doesn't happen. So the next one we'll go through is managing stock. So now we've learnt some ways to process more efficiently with our stock, so we're working towards getting more accurate information in the system, and now we can use the system to help manage our stock. So the first one is using weights, measures, and number of packages. So these are essentially dimension fields that are just text fields. They don't affect any calculations. So dimensions, you have 6 available to you. If we have a look at my amplifier, I have them here, and as you can see I'm using 5 of them, and I've just put labels under my product setup options. you page down, you've got your dimensions, so you can specify the label as well as the decimal places. So once you've set up all your products with the dimensions, what you can do is you can put that information onto your packing list. So those packing lists go down to your warehouse, and it can help estimate the total weight and the size of the package for your staff to help prepare the machinery or manpower which is needed for delivery. So based on the picking slips that the people in the warehouse receive, they can adjust whether the stock needs to go out via a freight truck or just a small courier van would be fine for that delivery. So if I have a look at this picking list, use the forms designer to manually change. I've specified quantity to pick is 2 modifiers, and so the system knows that the weight, for example, is 10 kgs for 1, so it says that the total weight will be 20 and the total packages is 2. So then your warehouse staff know, hang on, it's very heavy, we probably need a forklift to pick up these amplifiers, or we need 2 guys to help. So that's a really good way to manage your stock by using the dimension fields. The next one is using bin locations. So this helps to specify where the goods are picked up from. So if we have a look at our amplifier again. So with your amplifier, you've got a bin location here. Now with your bin location, you can specify where this product is located in your warehouse, and also if you have multiple products under the same product code, for example if I had different colors for this item, I could set up alternative bin locations. So under your master file products, you have alternative bin locations. So under here I've got another location set up for blue amplifiers. So what this means is when I am entering a transaction, so a customer order, and I'm selling an amplifier, I've customized the screen to have the bin field showing up. So I can click on the search find and it will show me my alternative bin locations. So if the customer wanted the blue amplifier, I can select that and then have this print on the picking list so that the warehouse people know exactly which location to pick this product from. So your customer will be more happy that they're getting exactly what they ordered, and it helps reduce less mess if they get the incorrect product which they ordered, then they won't return it, for example. So it's a good way to manage the stock so you know exactly what you're selling and where to pick that stock up from. So the next one is using stock images. So this also helps to reduce incorrect product entry. So you can show images when you're entering sales transactions by clicking F2. So for example, if I was entering an order, by clicking F2, I get my product search fields. And what I can do is if I click on the little camera button, it opens up exactly that product's image. Now images can be set up in your data folder under products, and they will be named with their product codes that they use in Attaché. And if you have multiple locations in Attaché, you just need to set up the images inside their own branch folders. So these images can also be linked to a web store or online ordering system that you have so that it matches with what the customer orders, and you can see the actual good and compare it to what you're entering in the system. So moving on now to ways we can work towards reducing our stock days. So once you've got some good processes in and you're processing more efficiently and you're learning ways to better manage your stock, that in turn will lead to reducing your stock days. Now, to keep on track of those stock days, what you can do is you could use your product sales report. Now, this is a very good report. So under your reports, products, sales reports, and sales value. So this just tracks your sales for your products. So if I page down, so you have various options available to you. So you can see, choose to print this report for products with sales, or you also have the options to print the report for products which have had no sales, or products with no sales since a particular date. So this can help highlight which products are not doing too well currently in your business and which ones you can focus on maybe reducing or kind of phasing out that product line if you haven't been selling it at all. Another good thing to find which products are doing well is you can use the profit range. So you could put in a low profit percentage and then the high profit percentage. So any product that sells with between that profit percentage, it will show up on this report. So once again, you can use that information to see which products are doing really well and maybe you should focus more or expand more in that line of stock, as well as which products are not doing as well as you hoped, and maybe you can work towards phasing out those products. So it's all about focusing on the stock items that do well and only having in your actual stock which products sell and only ordering what is required for your customers. So if I print that report, here I can see the quantity, the sales, what the cost is, as well as the margin percentage. So this and all the products that had any sales as well. So once again, I could focus my next marketing campaign around those products. So the next one is reorder levels and quantities. So this is all about working towards only ordering what is needed for your sales. It helps to anticipate what will be required for future sales, as well as having a good relationship with your suppliers in order to fulfill their back orders quickly, so that you in turn can have happier customers if you're giving them what they ordered quicker. So reorder levels are really handy because it helps ensure that you're only ordering what is needed. So you can set up your reorder levels for each product. If I go to my MP3 and page down, and as you can see, I've got a reorder level. So this means I always need to have 25 in stock. So I could use my sales reports and find out which product, how much this product sells each month, and then I can focus my purchasing around those sales for my next month's orders. So as long as I have 25 in stock, that should be suitable for the customers that are buying off me regularly or what I'm anticipating for my next month's sales. Now if I fall below that 25 quantity, I can use the reorder quantity amount, and then the system will say you need to order 15 more to meet that 25 level. So set up your level and your reorder quantity. You can use your stock reorder report. So this is found under your reports, products, periodical, product reorder. So you can choose the range, whether it's a product or supplier range. You can choose the product code, and you've got whether you want to include your back order quantity in your reorder quantity. And if I just print this report, so this, as you can see, shows you what you've sold, what you currently have in stock, what's available, and then your reorder point, and then a suggested reorder amount. So you can use this report to base your purchasing for the next month or the next quarter on. So it's a really good report. And another good way to help reduce your stock days, so it's all about moving your stock quicker, is using the automatic printing of picking slips. Now what you can do is with your picking slips is you can have a dedicated machine set up in your warehouse, and anytime a sales rep enters an order into the system for a customer, the picking slip can be automatically printed directly to your warehouse, and then those goods can be then shipped out. So what you can do is when you are normally printing your picking slips, if you page down, you have an automatic mode. So here you can say yes, and you can choose the number of seconds it needs to keep checking if there's a new order, and you need to remember to keep the screen open. So if you have a dedicated computer in the warehouse, just have the screen open and it will keep picking up those picking lists. Now what you can do, another good thing you could work towards, is maybe having if you've got a really good relationship with your supplier, you could then ask your supplier when you're ordering goods for your customer that, for example, you don't have in stock, whether your supplier can deliver directly to your customer. So maybe on your purchase orders, you can specify the customer's address on your purchase orders and check with your supplier if they could deliver those straight to your customer. Maybe get them to not send any of their costs along with the goods, and that you can send out the customer invoice directly to the customer. So that will help reduce your holding and handling stock costs, as well as the customer will get the goods much faster, and dispatch timings can also improve greatly. So the next one we'll go through is having your stock information at your fingertips. So this is by using dashboards as well as product inquiry screens. Now dashboards, what you can do with your dashboards is it's very flexible. It shows you real-time information from your system, from your data that's in Attaché. Now with dashboards too, it calculates your stock days, but you need to show which GL accounts it needs to look at. So this needs to be set up under your setups, general ledger, financial ratio sets. So you can set up a financial ratio set, and essentially it's telling the system, telling Clearview which general ledger account to look at for these particular headings. So for example, I've got rent pay. I can go through my general ledger and look for any accounts that would match that. Now if you page down, you've got your KPIs, so you could set what your industry standard for stock days are. You can set that up over here. You can set up multiple financial ratio sets, so if you have different locations in your company and you've got different general ledger charts to match that, you could set up a separate financial ratio set. You can then set up as well which financial ratio set each user looks at. So if I type in my supervisor, and it's pointing to the default financial ratio set. So once you've set all that up, the rest of the information, like all your transactions, are also displayed in Clearview. So if we have a look at this, if we go to the page, so over here you have days. Now my stock days are currently showed as a data, so I right click and change it to a chart. So here you can see the red line is your KPI target that we've set up, which was 80 days, and then you can see how you've been doing the past couple of months. And then if you wanted to see it as a table, you can right click and select table, and then you can see the actual stock days quantities. What you can also do is under the general ledger. Here you've got your stock days, it's another gadget, so you've got your previous period, what your target was, as well as what your last year amount was. And once again, you've got under the GL operating ratios, you've got your stock turn days, so it shows you what GL account it's looking at for that information, what your previous period was, what your current period is, and your year-to-date amounts. You can also turn that into a chart, and it will show you this information as a graph. You can then also email this information by clicking on this email button, and it will open up your Outlook and send that information. It'll open up an email message box from directly within Clearview, and you can put in your information. You can also choose to print it. Now there's some gadgets that are really handy to use in Clearview. So one of them is under Manager Stock, so you've got various gadgets available here. So you've got a stock on hand, a slow-moving stock, as well as negative stock. So if we have a look at our stock on hand, now with this I can filter to see which products I'm holding a lot in stock at the moment, or I could filter to see my high value stock that are sitting in my warehouse. So to do that, you just right click on the column you want to filter, select filter for, and then you can type in something. For example, I want to see everything that all of my products that I'm holding more than 500 in stock for. And so that shows me my toaster and my iron. I know because they are quite small products, I'm holding quite a large amount, but maybe I can go take a look more at their sales and see whether I actually require such a large amount in stock. Another really good gadget that you can use is found under Accounts page. We'll just wait for this gadget to finish collecting its data. So as you can see, gadgets, they provide managers as well as stock control staff real-time information about their stock figures. It allows them to make better decisions around their stock, which won't be based on estimations or gut feeling, but actually on real data. So under the accounts products, down here you've got a product reorder gadget. So essentially you don't need to use that report. You can come in and you can look at your product reorder gadget. So as orders have been entered into the system, this gadget will keep updating with real-time data. So you can use this to see what you've actually sold, as well as what the reorder quantities are, along with the suppliers. So I can come in, I could filter to see which products I'm buying from the suppliers and which suppliers I'm buying these products from. You've also got items due. So with this and any gadget essentially, if you can see there's a little dot under the purchase order number, that means you can drill directly into this document. So that opens up that purchase order for me, so I can reprint this purchase order out, give this person a call and say, hang on, we've been waiting for these stock to come in. What's going on? So I can click directly on the supplier code and it will open up my supplier master file. So here I've got their phone number as well as the contact name and number to get a hold of them. So all the gadgets, you can drill into them as well, and it's really good. There's also other gadgets available, aren't displayed on any of these pages. So if you go to My Accounts, which is just a blank page which you can add gadgets to, I've added a product low margin as well as monthly sales for my products. So this low margin gadget's really handy, so you can see which products have a low margin or a negative margin, and maybe you can make decisions on whether those products can be discontinued if they're not doing too well, or find out what's going on and why they're not performing as well as they used to based on what their sales were as well. So that's how you can use dashboards to find your information about your stock accurately and real-time information. So the last little tip I'll show you is using the product inquiry output function. So when you're entering products or looking for products, as soon as you click the find option, which is F2, you get this button here called output, or you can click F11, and this allows you to select what column you want to print. It essentially allows you to print, make your own report. So all this information has been saved against your products, and you can come in and you can tick what information you want to see. So scroll along, I could print out my supplier code, as well as what I currently each cost is based on, as well as their last cost. You can choose to print it for a range of products or all of them, and you can choose where the output needs to go to. So here I can come in and I can see all my costs, my suppliers that I'm buying these products on, and I've got a quick report with all the information that I need to see for whatever task I'm doing. It's just a faster way of finding all that information quickly. So those are some ways you can work towards reducing your stock days just by processing and managing your stock more efficiently within the system. So it's all about making those decisions based on actual data. Instead of going by gut feel or estimating or trying to remember what you sold the product for last time, it's about saving everything into the system and helping you to process efficiently using your actual data. So if you need any more further information or assistance, you can use our Attaché YouTube channel, which is really good. There's a lot of videos on our channel covering a couple of the things we've talked about today, as well as our members website and our Attaché forum. You could also email support if you need any assistance with trying to implement any of these things you've seen. And if anyone has any questions, just type them into the chat box or the question box and I will try answer them now, or I will pop you an email with your answer. And as it looks like no one has any questions, we can move on. So thank you everyone for coming to today's summer school webinar on decreasing stock. I hope you guys have learnt something and enjoy the rest of your day. There will be a small feedback survey that will appear on the screen once I end the webinar. If you could just fill that in, it would be really great. So thank you everyone. Bye.